Hey y'all, I am back with another book review. I just finished The Body Keeps Score. This is by a brilliant doctor in Boston. Oh my gosh, I totally lost my train of thought, but that's normal. This was about trauma and how our body, no matter what we might forget it or whatever, our body still remembers it. And it was so interesting just to hear different people's stories and just how he has helped other people and how he is working in the medical field to help other people. It was just brilliant. It was just brilliant, honestly. It was interesting. He is one of the people that helped the DMS 3 to acknowledge that PTSD was a thing. Just that it was a thing for veterans specifically. It was interesting to me that it wasn't, I knew that it wasn't considered a thing for a long time, but it was like they wouldn't admit it's even a thing. They would just say, oh, like in Germany it was a sign of weakness. Here in America we just said, oh, that's nothing, that doesn't exist. Like it was brilliant to hear. I mean, amazing to hear history and how much we suppress knowledge. One of the things that it was super impactful is the fact that suppressed memories is a thing, and he had document evidence, all the theses and the proven documentation for the fact that suppressed memories is a very plausible thing. And it was interesting because in I believe it's the 1990s and the 2000s, it has been highly demonized, saying, oh, suppressed memories isn't a thing, they can't do that, there's no documentation evidence. And it was funny because he was called during this time, and a reporter asked him the questions, and he was like, well, this documented case in the 1890s, this documented case in the I think it was the 1940s, this documented, it was just, he gave all this documentation, and the person ignored everything he had just said and was like, there is no documentation to ever prove this. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like, why would you suppress information? And it was brilliant to hear that it's very hard in the psychological world to get something either diagnosed or to have it become a legitimate thing. And it was just interesting how hard he had to fight to get PTSD, and then now suppressed memories, and now EMDR, like get all of these things to actually be acknowledged. And like it's interesting to hear how hard it is. I know with the DMS-5, they've had a lot of throwback. It was interesting because he talked a little bit about it, how it was pushed to be rushed, and a lot of the doctors that were working on it, psychologists, they were like, I don't think that these are, I think it's putting too many people in categories, and they like basically did whatever they wanted and published a book anyway. And it was mainly due to money, instead of working and trying to better the medical field. And I think that is super hard to just put everybody in a box. You just have a label. This is who you are. You are bipolar. You are whatever. You are schizophrenic. Like, you're put in a box rather than being like, okay, we're not boxes. I know I'm not. Who knows what I don't like being labeled. I don't like being labeled. And so I try to be very neutral, and I don't judge people, and I don't like sit on my high horse and say, you're this, you're this, you're this. And like, it seems like the DMS-5, that's really what they did. Which is kind of sad, because it's like the psychology world has come so far, and then to be thrown back into trying to just put people in boxes is just astounding to me. The other big impactful thing was the different kinds of therapy he focuses on. Like, he focuses on EMDR, touch therapy, yoga, working, like, it was all physical movement kind of therapy, and physical touch, and physical, and I know that not just physical touch, sorry, but like different things that you can do physically, like yoga, and being able to focus on breathing through the stuff. The whole EMDR, where you focus on rapid eye movements so that you can put whatever traumatic event you're dealing with back in the past where it is, because it really is in the past, and it's just coming to your front brain, making you feel like it's right there. Oh my gosh, it's happening again. But it's not happening. It's happened in the past, and it helps put your brain back and make it think, oh, that is in the past, that is not who I am, that is in the past. And it was just interesting hearing all the ways to help deal with PTSD, any trauma, the fact that your body holds it holds all the trauma. He had proven a case that physical, like medical disorders that eat away at the body have been proven to be a part of trauma, or at least it's a theory that he's working on. And I think it's a super interesting theory to hear. I think it was 9 out of his past 10 patients had a neurological disorder where the body starts eating away at itself, and 9 out of those 10 patients had trauma in the past that they hadn't dealt with. And I think it's important to deal with trauma and deal with it in a healthy way and not just suppress it and talk about it. And I think the more that we try to hide things, it definitely cripples us. And I think because we're all about image, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the other social medias that I have no idea about, it's all about image and what we portray. And like, I have to unfollow people because it's all about image, because I will be like, that can't be, their life can't be that perfect. I'm sorry, but no life is perfect. And just seeing that their perfect life is like, I really think there's more going on. And so I just can't look at it all the time. But I think suppressing and hiding stuff has really been the forefront of our country and our society. And I think that this helps us realize that the reason all this suppression is causing more harm to our own bodies and to the society as a general, and the people and the children and just everyone involved. And so I think just making sure that we are being as honest as we can be. I would highly recommend this book. I cannot stress enough. This is brilliant, super emotional, because you're getting to see into some of his case studies and some of his patients, some of the people he's worked with, and it was difficult, very difficult at times, because I just well, first of all, I get so ingrained in a book that I get so emotionally attached to everybody, but that's just my general thing. But it was so emotional, and see that people deal with this kind of trauma and deal with different kinds of situations, from seeing their entire platoons blown up to dealing with parents that came from the Holocaust, to just everyday the whole foster care system and the way that that's wholly messed up. And it was so eye-opening to see that there's so much pain in the world, and we have to work hard to make sure that we aren't adding to that pain, and that we are trying to be better people ourselves and working on ourselves. I would only recommend this book if you are trying to start work on yourself, on your mental state, or if you really love reading anything about the psychology, because if you like anything about psychology, oh my gosh, so much about psychology. But such a brilliant book. Helps me, it's kind of changed some of the ways I viewed things, and not I've always viewed certain things certain ways, but it's just changed some of the ways I viewed things, and I definitely am more open and more understanding and more just trying to accept people from where they are. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this long ranty video. If you made it all the way through, Good job. If you liked it, please subscribe. If you didn't, just don't ever watch me again, because I will rant again. If you have any recommendations of what I should read next, just type it down in the comments below. And y'all have a great day.